Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to my spinning video. It's been a very long time and I've had all this stuff, all the footage filmed for a very long time, and I just have to do an introductory video and the conclusions and everything. So for this spinning video, in my how I dye my fiber video, I had split all my fiber up to be spun, and I'm going to insert the clip of me spinning everything. I'm just going to do it to music. I'm doing a short forward draw. I realize that it's really hard to see exactly what I'm doing in terms of the spinning, so it's for a short forward draw, I use my left hand to keep the twist out of my fiber supply, and my right hand is my fiber supply hand. I'm constantly pulling with my left hand and then sliding back in short bursts while it's spinning, and just pulling, drafting out little bits of fiber, and then sliding back, drafting out, sliding back. And my right hand always remains very loose with the fiber, so I'm not gripping or anything. I think that's really key in terms of spinning, is that you really want to keep it loose, because it can be I remember when I first started spinning, I was gripping like everything very tightly. I didn't want to get the twist all the way into the fiber supply, because that can get really annoying. And then you can't draft anymore, and then you get like clumps and bumps and yuckiness. And so I've now learned that you just kind of find a rhythm and just almost gently lift your hand from your fiber supply for a short forward draw. Gently, like you're literally just keeping your fingers together gently. You're not pressing. You can literally just keep your fingers together and then lift up from your fiber supply, almost just guiding it around your pointer finger, and then having this just to keep the twist from coming all the way in. So you're like lifting, feeding into your flyer, sliding back, lifting to feed in, sliding back. So I'm putting in that video of me spinning up the singles for it. And now I will insert the video of how I chain plied it. I'm not sure if I actually recorded any like slow footage of the finished skein. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. So I've already knit with it. I've already made things with it. But this is how it turned out. When you chain ply, it actually keeps the color repeats very close together. So it ends up being sort of self-striping gradient feel, which I really like. The only thing that I ended up not liking about the finished yarn for this was the fact that it got really big and bulky, and this is more like a Aran weight right here, and then some parts are fingering, but I wanted a fingering weight yarn, and I said I was going to spin for socks, and I should have just done a 2-ply, and I didn't, and I'm just like, I'm going to do 3-ply. So this was the finished yarn. I'm going to insert the footage of me spinning it, chain plying it. Again, it's very difficult to actually see what I'm doing in terms of chain plying, and you're literally making like a crochet chain. So you when you start chain plying, you make a slip knot in your single, put it through your leader, and then you pull your live single from your bobbin through the loop that you just made, and then you start spinning and you're guiding the twist down all 3 strands, and then you're pulling another loop, grabbing your live fiber, having the twist come down the 3 strands, and the joins where it's like this, it's almost unnoticeable. Like you'll feel it when you're chain plying, but you won't be able to notice, oh, this is definitely chain plied as opposed to a traditional 3-ply yarn. Like when I was knitting with it, I could not tell where the joins were when it became a loop and you pulled it through, and then some of the singles were linked like this. I couldn't tell at all. And I had several breaks where my loop while I was chain plying broke. So it was literally 3 strands, but then I didn't have a loop anymore to pull through. And I wish I had actually filmed how I fixed it. I didn't. But what I ended up doing was I twisted my live single, making a loop, and then just kind of fudged it a little bit and just had it like, it was slightly 4-ply a little bit, and then it went back to the 3-ply just so that I could get a loop going again. And it worked out perfectly. When I was knitting with it, I couldn't tell where I had done that. It wasn't like super extra bulky in that spot or anything. So I am very proud that it turned out the way it did. I really enjoyed knitting with this yarn. Now I will insert footage of me when it's finished on the bobbin, and I believe when I am soaking the yarn and snapping it and washing it. I think I did actually film a little bit when it was dry. So I think I'll put that in as well. And then I did film me knitting with it. So I will put all that footage in to music. So when I was knitting, I did knit socks, even though it's not exactly a sock weight yarn, but I did it as a color work instead of a full sock. And I also used my Handmaiden fine yarn Casbah, and it's a 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon blend in the colorway Nori. So it's actually a very, very dark green, and I think it complemented my hand spun very well. And then I knit these socks. I apologize. I have worn these, and I've worn them for a day, and though I'm actually really liking how they wore. My feet obviously got really, really hot because I wore them on a hot day because that was a mistake. But it's got this beautiful like gradient effect. And they're sisters, they're not twins. But they clearly go together, and I love that. So I did the cuffs, heels, and toes in the Nori Handmaiden fine yarn, and then also the little lice stitch. And then the main color was my hand spun on these. And I wore them for a day. I wore them in boots, and it slightly felted the bottom, so it feels a little bit denser, but like more secure, I would say. It doesn't feel like it's wearing through or anything. So I think that it definitely like just secured the stitches a lot better, and they kept my feet warm, like really warm. So I definitely don't see these falling apart on me at all anytime soon. There's a little bit of like a fuzz, slightly like pilling in the heels and toes, but nothing bad. But I loved wearing these. So I love knitting them so much that I wanted to knit another pair opposite effect. So I still did the heels, toes, and cuffs in the Nori, but I also switched the main color to being the Nori and then the lice stitch in my hand spun. And I really like how subtle the coloring is. So again, sisters, not twins. And the gradient it turned out so beautifully. These ones feel a little bit lighter, obviously, because it's the majority of the yarn is the Handmaiden Nori colorway, and it's only the lice stitch that is my hand spun, but the floats on the inside like almost make it a little like a cushy sock, which I love. So it could be like a slipper sock, house sock almost. My floats are so even. I really like them. I love color work in general. So I didn't use any sort of pattern. I just kind of made it up as I went. My own recipe. You can see it's hard to see the jog line from carrying the yarn up on this one, but it's rather obvious on this one. Yeah, really, really enjoyed this. I am definitely going to be doing a lot more spinning and then knitting with my hand spun videos. I think that they're really fun. I just am lazy about, filming and then editing. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe. I feel like I always have to say that. Every time I post a video, like I gain 6 subscribers, but then I lose 6. I don't know, it's weird. I think it's like the algorithm thingy, but yeah, really enjoyed this. Please let me know what you think. Comment. I have posted the pictures of these on Instagram, I think twice. I love them, and I want to make more. I have now, since I did the Penrose Knits cornicette socks from my friend Laura at the Knitting Pickle podcast, which I did. I really love her. So anyway, if you haven't seen her, like, please go check her out, the Knitting Pickle podcast. Follow her on Instagram at Penrose Knits. Buy her patterns. She's coming out with more patterns, and like, she is a pattern making machine. Like, I don't know how she does it. She has 2 kids, and she's got all kinds of things going on. So it's crazy, but it's amazing. All right, I'm going to end that here. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.